My lords, ladies and gentlemen, hello once again and welcome back to Rimworld. As we start the episode, Cobra is still in the depths of his catatonic state, what was brought about at the end of the last episode, and our new arrival, the man in black, Irenbanmar, has just finished slaughtering the yak that was purchased in the last episode and is currently hauling it back to the base. As we can see, Irenbanmar's own mood isn't the best at the moment. That's mainly been affected by the fact we had no recent conquest, which is being brought about by his ideology, which does have the raider meme. So he does require that thirst for conquest, and if he doesn't have it, then he gets a little bit grumpy, as we can see. But hopefully it won't be too much of an issue to deal with. At least we know he's not going to be affected by the consumption of human meat or the butchering of their corpses, because he is cannibalistic. So we're just going to have to wait around a bit until Cobra recovers. He's still obviously suffering from the lymphatic mechanites that we contracted in the last episode. We can't tend them again at the moment, which is good because we couldn't anyway, just because of the catatonic state that Cobra currently finds himself in. Although I'm sure Irenbanmar could help out and conduct a round of treatment where necessary. As we can see, he's tending to Cobra. He's feeding him right now, for example. Let's get our new colonist here to partake in a bit of breakfast before we start the day. Not sure if that's going to give him a mood boost. It might do. He is getting a mood boost, as we can see, from the fact he is wearing human leather pelt boots. So we could craft him some human leather articles of clothing, and that should help offset the no recent conquest negative modifier that he currently experiences. For now, we'll have him do a few odd jobs around the base. The 2 spike traps need repairing. These items and the 2 corpses could also be doing with being hauled back to our little stockpile zone so they don't go to waste out on the ice sheet. I don't think we haven't adjusted Irenbanmar's work priorities, so we'll do that now. We do want to set him as a cook, just because Cobra could be catatonic for quite a while. Hunting we'll leave as is, because we can always draft him and do the hunt manually. Construction we want set to high, likewise mining. Growing and plant cutting is irrelevant for the moment. Smith and tailoring, we can leave that to Cobra, I think, but we will allow him to do a little bit of research. But we'll only set that as the number 3 priority. And I think for now that should do. In fact, we'll set these to, say, level 5 priority. That way we can manually control Irenbanmar to do the tasks, but he shouldn't often do them of his own volition. Obviously his mood is still pretty poor. What gear does he have at the moment? Is there anything we could craft him out of human leather? Perhaps a tribal kilt would be a decent shout. A human leather tribal kilt, that'll boost his mood a bit. So let's actually craft one of those here. We don't want the pelt boots anymore. So let's go for, where are we? Tribal kilt. Yes, there we go. And let's just clear everything except for human leather. 857 units of human leather on hand at the moment, so we are swimming in leather. So we may as well use some of it. What do we have here? A group of outlanders, so these could be fairly well teched up. What do we have? There's 3 of them. All 4, or 3. Yes, there's 3, so all 3 of them are armed with ranged weapons, as we can see. So that's one thing we definitely want to bear in mind. For a man in black, Irenbanmar's shooting skill isn't the highest. Are they attacking immediately? It looks like they are. Can we get this spike trap finished before they get here? There's one down anyway. Yes, we can, and that's caused a 3rd to flee. So let's allow access to these weapons here. And in fact, we may as well have Irenbanmar prioritise hauling all of this back to the stockpile. And then obviously we need the 2 spike traps resetting as well in the near future, just in case we have another raid pop along. Let's get that fecal sludge out of here as well. That can't be a nice thing to look at while you're on the toilet. Of course, you could always cut out the middleman and just do it straight into the fecal sludge. Let's have a look. I think maybe... oh, he's just eaten, which is a shame. I would say we could give him a bit of human meat to try and perk him up a little bit, but he has just eaten, so that's probably not the best thing to do right now. Instead, we'll do a bit of hoopstone play. Just try and get his recreation bar as high as possible. What do we have? And another raid straight off. These will prepare for a while, and these are tribes people. How many we got here? We have the 4 of them. 2 with ranged weapons, 2 with melee weapons, and it looks like one of the knife fighters does have a few existing injuries. They are going to prepare for a while, so rather than do the hoopstone, let's go ahead and get these spike traps rearmed as quickly as possible. Hopefully we've got time to repair at least one of them before the raiders do make their move. How well equipped are these for the cold? If any of them start to develop hypothermia, that would be quite nice. So at the minute outside it is negative 36, so he would become hypothermic. He would not. He would. And he definitely would. So if at least some of them start to develop the first stage of hypothermia, that might slow them down just enough to allow us time to get these spike traps fitted out properly. Let's have a look. Prioritise working on the spike trap, please. Oh, the Royal Tribute Collector has arrived. That could be fortuitous timing then, because there's every chance that the Tribute Collector will be the one to handle the raiding party. And that also does give me another idea, and that is to crack open this ancient danger here, just outside our bathroom and butchery room, and then lure them outside in the hopes that... oh god. Didn't realise the boys were that close. Let's get the man in black out of harm's way there. So, oh, we need to enable self-tend before we do anything else. Let's tend to our injuries first before we do anything else here. Okay, so they're about to come around the corner. So we can get Irenbanmar to retreat. As he retreats, he will take a few shots. Look at the boy with the bow. Isn't very accurate. And I think once we take down this last raider here who's pursuing us in close pursuit, the melee fighter, it will cause the raiding party to flee. Let's just see if we can take this guy out of action. In fact, there we go. Look. Godar is now fleeing. So, let's see here. Who do we have? This is Porcupine. In terms of his stats, he's got quite high mining stats, which is quite interesting. Other than that, nothing really jumps out. Ooh, definitely not somebody we want around the base. The whole hating of slaughtering animals wouldn't be great, so I don't think we're going to rush to, or make any attempt to save this guy here, but what we will do is strip him of his clothing. That way we have some free clothes that aren't tainted from being worn by a corpse, and it will also speed up this poor guy's demise as well, as he loses any layer of cold protection that he did have originally. Okay, so... was that caused by the wound from the recurve bow? It may have been. He was stabbed in the liver, so it does follow that the right lobe of the liver was destroyed as he was hit. So quite a serious injury there, sustained during the raid, but we managed to survive. Obviously our steel spike traps desperately need repairing, for we have yet another raid. We've had 2 in quick succession, so I'm going to chance it now and say we're not going to have another one, at least for a short while. So we'll let Irenbanmar get some rest. He is extremely tired, as we can see. Cobra is still catatonic. Is this related to his mental break? A state of mental shock which leads to a total inability to function. Okay. So Cobra still can't do anything to help us out here, which is very annoying. I don't think it's the mechanites which are causing the catatonic breakdown. I think it is just a mental breakdown. So the sooner we can get Cobra back up on his feet, the better everybody's going to be. The extra pair of hands is going to be great. Luckily, obviously, we do have Irenbanmar. We wouldn't have survived very long without him, as we would have by now starved to death. Rather than consume a simple meal, Irenbanmar, let's have you consume some human meat. That should help your mood just a little. And let's get your recreation bar filled as well. So you're in serious pain. Well, I'm not surprised. You were shot through the liver. It's not going to do wonders for you. And we have a manhunting pack. What do we have here? Frost Aves. How many? 3. Okay, so we're going to have to deal with these ourselves. Although we probably can get this spike trap completed, though it is almost there, as we can see. Only 18 units of work left on that. Oh god. That I did not foresee. So that's now Cobra and Irenbanmar who have gone catatonic. So hopefully one, or at least both of them, will snap out of it soon. Let's put a little cut in here, shall we, and I'll rejoin the episode and the action, such as it is, when something does happen with our colonists. Just as a little interlude here, as we can see, because we're catatonic, these man-hunting Frost Aves are not attacking us while we're incapacitated. So Irenbanmar is, well, I won't say he's safe, but he's not in any immediate peril from the 3 man-hunting animals that wandered onto the map. Would be nice to kill these 3 if we get the chance. The furs that they drop would be quite nice out here. What do they drop actually? Bird skin? Was it just bird skin? That's less impressive than I thought it was going to be. But never mind. I thought they had some sort of special cool anti-cold protecting leathers or feathers or furs, but clearly not. So yes, we'll, like I said, we'll pick it back up as soon as one or either of our colonists make a recovery, hopefully. Okay, so Cobra is back up on his feet, just as we reach 50% malnutrition, as we can see here, so the timing is pretty good. So let's first of all grab a meal ASAP. Let's get this malnutrition dealt with. We're also, we're self-tending. Can't we use, would it not be better to use some medicine to do this, my friend Cobra? I guess not. You want to do it without medicine, unless you have some in your inventory. No, you don't. So hopefully you do a good job. 19%. So you've got your SMG back. You need to use the loo. I'm not surprised. No, we're not doing any research requests. Let's grab another meal before we head out to rescue Irenbanmar. And then we obviously want to rescue Irenbanmar and finish off the jobs that we were about to do with Irenbanmar, such as repair our defences. The Frost Aves, they're still maddened with Manhunter, so we want to be careful here. Although looking at it, there's only one of them left on the map. I guess the other 2 wandered off at some point. I wasn't paying much attention. I was closely monitoring Cobra and Irenbanmar's malnutrition. So let's rescue Irenbanmar now. As we can see, he is also suffering from malnutrition. Serious malnutrition at that as well. So we need to get him back and get him fed ASAP. Okay, so let's prioritize feeding him. We don't want to lose him, that's for sure. There we go. There's nothing else we can do to... Oh, we are already washing him, so that's going to help perk him up a little bit in his catatonic state. Cobra, you're starving once again. Rather than wandering all the way out there for a meal, let's have some human meat. There we go. Just a bit of cleaning up and then off to bed. Fair enough. We can have a little bit of rest. After all, the corpses out here aren't going anywhere, although these items will slowly start to deteriorate, so we don't want to leave them out there any longer than we absolutely have to, but I'm sure we can afford 1 day's rest, or 1 night's sleep rather. Again, rather than traverse most of the base to get a meal, just get something from the stockpile, please. Let's make sure Irenbanmar is properly fed as well. We don't want him starving in his bed. Okay, so you're going to relax with a beer. That's fair enough. That's going to help boost your mood. The ship made a question that we picked up in the last episode, or was available to us in the last episode, has expired. That's fine. I think we've got bigger things to worry about at the moment, such as our colonists falling on the floor catatonic. Okay, so we're going to take care of the spike traps now. That's a good idea. We don't know when the next raid is going to come. Let's get everything hauled back to the base that we can take in one trip, such as these weapons and the medicines. There we go. The corpses can wait just a little while longer. Yes, they are deteriorating slowly, but Twig, the corpse who has been out here the longest, still has 84 hit points out of 100, so it's not desperately urgent that we get them hauled back right now. So Irenbanmar's back on his feet. His catatonic state didn't last nearly as long as Cobra's did, so that's good. It means we don't have to manually tend to him ourselves now. He can look after himself somewhat. Okay, a bit of repair on the damaged walls there from before, and Cobra is going to start hauling everything back to the stockpile. Let's get Irenbanmar to help out with that, actually. May as well get the corpses brought back to our little base. What are you doing now, Irenbanmar? Repairing the wall? No. Let's get another corpse hauled back. How much steel do we have? We only have 22 units of steel left from the little vein we mined out previously. That's not going to be enough to repair all of our steel traps, so we do need to hunt for another steel vein. What do we have here? Gold. Interesting. Might leave that though. Obviously our raids are getting more and more frequent, and they're fairly large in number as well, and don't want to add to our colony wealth unnecessarily. What do we have? We have steel there and steel there. Okay. Let's prioritise mining out this rather large chunk of steel over to the west. And with that we'll be able to repair our little defensive fortifications here. Okay, maybe you don't do the mining. You're awfully slow at that and we'll be here all day watching that. So instead, bring another corpse back with you. That leaves just 2 on the ice sheet. So Cobra's having a little bit of play. You can also give yourself a quick meal, and then it's 3 in the morning. You're not tired at all, unfortunately, although if we can get below 75%, we will be able to send you to bed and hopefully reset your sleep pattern as best we can. Let's say we'll go to bed now. That should at least get us a couple of hours, and when he does wake up, he's going to be fully rested, waking up at a more reasonable hour. There we go. Okay, so Cobra's off mining, which is fine. He is a skilled miner. We have a walrus up to the northwest. However, given the amount of corpses and meat we have on hand at the moment, we're not going to prioritise hunting the walrus, although we probably will get it at some point if one of our colonists do happen to find themselves idle in the near future. So you're prioritising the human meat, which is good. That'll give you a little mood boost. Perhaps just have a little bit more just to top off your hunger bar. And then you can do a little bit of hoopstone activity play. Obviously the plus 40 from all the catharsis that our colonists are currently experiencing is going to come in handy for the next couple of days. Irenbanmar, no, you may as well prioritise the hauling in and around our base. So Cobra's now working on yet another spike trap, which is good. The more we can get functional, the better. In the meantime, we have a wanderer, a stew keeper named Grump, wants to join. She's willing to contribute. We may as well take a look at Grump, see what she has to offer. Cold protection's not the best, so she will need to be outfitted with some better clothing. In terms of her biography, she's a quick sleeper, which is a nice trait to have. Very high cooking skill, which is interesting. And pretty decent, well, I say decent, I guess 5 out of 20 is pretty poor, really. But a solid base, a solid start for a few other of her skills as well. Medical, social could be quite interesting for trading. Animals, if you ever want to do any animal taming, although we don't have a means to keep them fed right now. And the shooting as well. In that case, I think it's probably worthwhile attempting to keep the Grump alive. So we are going to want another sleeping spot for her. I think she may as well... I think I'm going to put her in Cobra's room, because it's the nicer of the two. And it should help keep her mood boosted just a little. So let's go ahead and craft us a simple bed. We don't want to use the wood. Don't really want to use the jade either. In that case, then, let's go for a bedroll. Do we want to use human leather? Is that going to freak her out a little bit, do we think? She's not cannibalistic. What's this here? What material is that? Rhino leather. Okay, let's make one out of rhino leather. Just to be on the safe side. There we go. Let's get her work priorities set up. You definitely want to be in charge of the cooking, although you're not going to like butchering the human corpses, but tough. Construction, no. Growing, yes, eventually, but there's nothing to grow right now. So we'll have to bear that in mind later. You can do the smithing, the tailoring, and the crafting, as well as the research. In fact, I set them to level 2. Because you do have decent research skills as well. And we'll also set you and you to put a bit of effort into cleaning as well. The place is in a bit of a shambolic state, what with all the blood and debris lying around at the moment. So Grump is equipping herself with better clothing at the moment, which is fine. That should have boosted her. Yes, that's much better. So I don't have to worry about the cold as far as Grump's concerned. We are going to have to worry about her mood, however, from all these corpses that she's currently butchering. Would be nice to keep her alive, but if she has some sort of catastrophic mental breakdown and perishes, then so be it. So as we can get all the corpses butchered now, then it's out of the way and done with, so that's fine. At least we do have plenty of non-human meat for Grump to consume. Obviously, Cobra and Irenbanmar are happy to eat human flesh. Grump will not be, so we'll make sure she prioritises eating all the animal meats rather than the human meat. So we didn't get her bed constructed yet. Let's get that done ASAP so she can have a decent night's rest rather than just sleeping on the floor as she's opted to at the moment. So you have human meat. Yes, I know there's a mad snow here. I'm not paying it any attention if I'm honest. Now come back to bed. Grump, let's wake you up and you sleep there. She should get a mood boost from a decent bedroom. Obviously the sleeping on the floor, well not on the floor, but sleeping in not a bed, so to speak, isn't going to be too good for her, but never mind. Right, let's get all of these articles of clothing hauled up to the stockpile near the steam geyser. Yet another raid, and they're coming in transport pods. Let's see where they're landing. So they're still going to have to navigate the spike corridor, which is fine. And they are going to prepare for a while before they attack. We have one with Molotov cocktails, a combat handgun, a frontier pistol, and a lever action rifle in tow. So quite some decent weaponry that we're going to have to certainly keep half an eye on. Obviously our colonists have pretty decent weapons themselves, and we will equip Grump with a pistol when she finishes unloading her inventory in the dumping stockpile up here. There we go. Right. What do we have? We have the frontier pistol here. That does 8 damage. The Volcan, that does more damage. Its rate of fire, 163 rounds per minute, I guess that is. This one doesn't have the same set of information available, which is frustrating, so you can't do an easy direct comparison. I'm going to say we equip the volcanic pistol. Let's get the snow hare out of the way. So the raiders aren't on their way. Oh yes, they are on their way. So Irenbanmar, in fact I'm going to cancel your work order to mine, because you just don't do a very good job. So get back into the base before you fall victim to this group of raiders here, just in time. Cobra, don't be wandering off to meet them head on or anything. So let's get you and you up here ready. So 2 of them fell, so 1 more. There we go. That should now. He is fleeing, but he's deciding to break the door down rather than walk through the corridor. Just move you 2 closer. Oh, never mind. That's that taken care of. Okay, so yet another raid dealt with. They are getting a little bit more challenging and troublesome, so do need to keep that in mind. And in fact, it's probably not a bad idea to go ahead and strike up another caravan and get rid of all this jade, because I think that's what's adding to our colony wealth at the moment. Now let me see if I can remember where the colony wealth over time menu is located. History, here we go. Yes, this is what we want. Wealth total. So that's the yellow one. So as we can see, it's up at 28,000. Okay. So we probably want to go ahead and get some of that dealt with. As I said, a trade caravan to our nearest neighbours to sell some of the jade, or as much of the jade as we can, is probably a decent idea. So we'll let the colonists just repair up any damage that the raiders inflicted. We have run out of storage space down here in our little stockpile zone. So yes, doing a trade caravan is probably going to be a pretty good idea at this point, just to free up some space as well. Okay. Oh, a psychic soothe, that's nice. Thank you, Randy. You've not been the most generous this episode, what with the 3 raids, the manhunting, 2 manhunting packs, and the catatonic breakdowns, but I suppose you're making up for it a little bit now with that psychic soothe. So Grump's not happy about all the butchering human corpses, but tough. You've got to do it. How are the mechanites? When can we actually tend to them? When does attending expire? Oh, 10 hours, so yes. We'll allow Cobra to treat himself before we decide whether or not we are going to strike out to our nearest neighbours. Grump, if you could prioritise all this tainted clothing for me, that would be nice. Where are you taking it? Why did you put that there? That was a little bit strange, but oh well. Irenbanmar, what are you up to? Where are you going? Oh, you're going for a wash. Okay, that's fair enough. Let's get you. Oh, there's no room to dump the extra weapons. Okay, so we're going to want to expand this. So orders, mine out this. And in fact, we'll extend it out that way as well, I think. So Cobra's having breakfast. After that, let's get this granite mined out. Let's cancel the mining order over here. We can always come back to it later when it's needed. Although we only have one active trap at the moment. Grump, you just go to sleep. You're on the verge of a mental break, and I don't think they can suffer a mental break while they're asleep. Nice glasses. Right. Prioritise the mining, please, Cobra. We need to expand our stockpile as much as we can, as quickly as we can. Okay, so you're going to bed. Fair enough. So we have a group from the Engo Alliance visiting overnight. They don't have anything to trade, so we shall ignore them and let them pass on through unhindered. Cobra is tending to his mechanites once again. 16% 10 quality, not the best, but better than nothing. So now you're going to do the mining of your own volition, which is great. Get this done and get this stockpile expanded. So we can get all that equipment in our little strapped corridor brought in. We don't want to allow our colonists to start eating the insect meat, so we will disallow that. So the visitors are leaving, that's fine. We weren't going to do anything with them anyway. So Irenbanmar is in such a good mood that he's experienced a surgery boost. That'd be great if we were planning any surgery in the near future, which obviously we are not. But it's good to know he's in a good mood, I suppose. So, this is the stockpile zone expanded out quite nicely now. That's provided us a little bit more room for everything that we have on hand. Hopefully that's enough for all the weapons. No, it's not enough for all the weapons. Okay, Tantrum is going to have a... Tantrum is going to have a Grump. No. Grump is going to have a Tantrum. That's fine. Hopefully she'll just stick to the walls and doors up to the northwest of the base rather than coming in and destroying anything of any real value. So we'll leave her to it. I suppose out of the mental breakdown she could have had, it's one of the better options. Certainly better than the catatonic states we have been having lately. Cobra, you want to go to sleep. How about we have a little bit of a clean first? And yes, then you can go to sleep. It'd be nice to get rid of these mechanites. The intense pain is obviously dragging Cobra's mood through the floor on a regular basis, which is not great. Yes, you destroy that insect. Chitin, chitin. Never know how to pronounce that, must check. Yes, you destroy that insect carapace. So anyway, that's the Tantrum dealt with, so at least she's going to be in a pretty good mood for the next couple of days because of the catharsis. Where are you going? What happened? Oh, yes, that's one of the raiders that the Ravager took the head off, I remember. I was a bit confused why there was a corpse all the way out there, but yes, I remember. In the meantime, let's get these weapons hauled back. These are of decent value. So Grump's going to be upset again because she's doing a bit more butchery, but such is life. In fact, you probably want to have something to eat and then head to bed. Your mood is quite low. There we go. So Cobra's sleep schedule is all over the place at the moment, as we can tell, but that's fine. And you're heading off back to bed anyway. Hopefully that will normalise your sleep pattern from now on out. Or not, as you're awake at 4 in the morning. So Grump is also up and about as well. You do a bit of hoopstone play, that's fine. Suppose a mood boost will be nice. Cobra, let's have you... Where are we? Security. Steel spike trap. There we go. Right, you can go and do a bit of mining because we need the free spike traps resetting. So let's mine out, just say 5 blocks for now. Okay, so you're repair. In fact, Irenbanmar can handle the base repairs. You handle the mining, please. I guess this is all a result of Grump's tantrum just a few moments ago. Look, you did one chunk of mining, so that's fine, I suppose. Now you're going back to the mining order, which is great. Irenbanmar's just cleaning up some of the mess around here. Leave them to that, that's fine. This will keep their moods a little bit higher when they're working in this area, because they won't have the mood debuff from the awful environment. And that is that have fun playing EPOE researched. So we're still not into the medieval tech era yet. We have researched 67%. I believe we need 75. So I think 1 or 2 more is going to be enough. There's nothing really we need, so let's go for the cheap ones and we'll go for the brewing of beers next. Cobra, what are you doing? You're resting. Okay, yes, your sleep pattern is pretty disrupted at the moment. We need to try and get that sorted out. Okay, we can't clean this because it's not the home zone. Okay, that's fine. Irenbanmar, after you've done cleaning up here, you can have a bite to eat. Likewise, Grump, go ahead and treat yourself to some bear meat. There we go. How are our colonists getting on with one another? So, Grump is making friends, as we can see. Irenbanmar, he has a good opinion of Cobra, which is nice. Although Cobra doesn't reciprocate. So Cobra just dislikes everybody. Irenbanmar likes Cobra. And Grump dislikes everybody and is also disliked by everybody. That's great. Oh, we have a trade caravan. Okay. Grump, you're the one with the better trade skill, I believe. Get out there and meet them ASAP before they wander off from the cold. And get as much of this sold as you can. Right, what are they going to take off us? Right, all the melee weapons can go. The recurve bow and sling can also go. May as well get rid of the... We'll keep the combat handgun and the rifle. The Molotovs can go, as can this marble structure. And they are not willing to purchase the jade. That's annoying, but at least we're getting rid of some stuff here. In fact, the go juice can also go, as can the iced coffee. I'm not using that at all. Ooh, could get a tech... Oh, no. Perhaps not. Oh, that's right. We dropped all our silver in the last episode, didn't we? Because we lost the slave and therefore reduced our carry capacity of our caravan, I remember. Alright, so... Yep, we'll do with that. We'll accept that trade. So Grump haul the silver back. Let's see what that has done for... our colony wealth, last 30 days. Maybe it's not updated yet. I don't know. As we can see, this is where the raids started to pick up at this point. 1, 2, that's 4 raids that they were all this episode, which is fantastic. The colony wealth doesn't seem to have changed much after that trade. Maybe it just takes a little while to update it. I've never really inspected that graph screen too much in the recent past. So everybody's back in base now, taking care of various little bits and bobs and odds and ends. We still need more steel, please, Cobra, if you don't mind. Grump is asleep, that's fine. Irenbanmar is also sleeping. Obviously, we've still got the... I believe we've still got the Psychic Soothe. Yes, we do. So that's helping Cobra and Irenbanmar avoid a mental breakdown. It's not doing anything for Grump, however. But she still has a plus 40 from her recent cathartic experience. Cobra, yeah, you can go to sleep. It's 3 in the morning. You should be asleep anyway. Obviously, I know Grump isn't because of her quick sleeper trait. So we'll let you refill your recreation bar to help your mood. And then you can go ahead and have some bear meat. Irenbanmar, you have human meat, please. Absolutely no social interaction there between the two of them. And then Grump, oh, you are researching anyway. Irenbanmar, you're just hauling the steel out to the traps and then rebuilding those, which is great. We probably want to think about expanding this trapped corridor, making it a little bit longer with extra traps due to the amount of raids and the numbers involved per raid as of late. So that's probably something I'll do quite soon. So it looks like this walrus is attacking Irenbanmar. No, it's this one over here. How it can sense him all the way over there is a mystery, but whatever. Cobra, what are you up to? You're still expanding out the stockpile zone. Perhaps have a bite to eat first. There we go. Now you can get on with what you were doing. Irenbanmar's just having a little bit of a downtime. And Grump is happy researching at the table. All good. And I think we might end this episode here. It's been a quite eventful episode. In terms of how long this episode is, it's been hard for me to guess, because for about 15 minutes I was staring at the two colonists having a breakdown on the ice sheet, so it's thrown off my estimation for how much recording time is actually going to make it into the final cut. So if it's a bit shorter than usual, I do apologise, and that's the reason why. Looking forward, I have discovered a new game, quite similar to Rimworld, called Going Medieval. If you know it, then obviously you know it. If not, yeah, just take a moment and have a quick look on the Steam webpage, store page. Now, it is very similar mechanics to Rimworld, but different. Graphically, it's different. It's voxel based, and obviously, as the title implies, it's got a medieval theme to it. Now, given that it's very similar in terms of mechanics to Rimworld, let me know if that would also be a game you'd be interested in seeing a playthrough of. If you would be, then I will make one. If not, if you think it's too much of a carbon copy of Rimworld, then I shall not bother. But I just thought I'd raise a possibility with you guys. And as I said, if it's something you would be quite interested in, yeah, I'm happy to also do a playthrough on that as well. So we'll just let Irenbanmar finish off this walrus that started hunting him. And once that's done, oh, it's done now. Yes, we will say our goodbyes. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, obviously please consider leaving a thumbs up down below. It does help the channel and the video immensely. But for now, all that remains for me to say is, as always, ladies and gentlemen, as our colonists all head off to bed at the same time, you take very good care of yourselves. It's ta-ta for now.